and welcome to the tutorial today on how to add a frame to our layouts and working with frames. I'm going to give a couple of little ideas. So I'm just going to jump in. Here in my photo bin I have some paper, I have a photo we're going to work with, and I have two different types of frames. So first we're going to start by pulling up this frame. And it's kind of a square frame, maybe a little bit rectangle, but mostly square. And then I'm going to pull up our photo. Now our photo is a lot smaller in this case than our frame. So we're going to highlight the frame and we're going to go to Tool Options and Show Bounding Box. And click on that little corner, just click once, and then make sure that this is checked for Constrain Proportions. That way, as you bring it down, it keeps the shape of it. And I am thinking it's a little more. Okay, now with this one I'm going to have it be just a little bit bigger. Click the check mark. Take off the bounding box. So now it's a little bit bigger than our photo, and our photo is underneath. And I'm going to zoom in. Now one fun look that you can create with frames is, in this case it's almost like the frame is acting more as a mat where it's underneath, but you can also tuck part of the photo in while still having most of the photo out on the outside. So to do this, we're going to lower the opacity on our frame, on our photo. So make sure the photo layer is marked. Okay, so we just want to do about 50%. As you can see, even though the photo's here, you can see where the frame falls underneath. Now we're going to come over to our options over here. Oops. Okay, so we're going to get our lasso and we're going to look at the different options, and we're going to actually use the polygonal lasso tool. So highlight that, and this will help us do straight lines. So we want to start it up a little bit. Again, make sure that you're on the photo layer, and you'll click, and then you'll come down below where the photo is, and you're following the line of the frame. And then this part out here doesn't really matter, and we're just going to connect it again. So there you see you've got the marching ants here. And we followed the frame because we want to make it look like this corner of the photo is underneath. So if we click delete, it takes that part off. So now we're just going to go up to select and deselect, and that takes away the marching ants. And we're going to take our opacity for our photo back up. Now I usually find that it's important to nudge. Well, first let's add our shadow, because that will give us a little more of an idea, and add the shadow onto our frame. Okay. Now we go back to our layers, and if you nudge the photo over just a little bit, okay, now what we want to do is fix the shadow a little bit. So to get to this menu, you see how it has a little FX? If you double click on that, it will take us immediately into the drop shadow. And we can experiment with different angles. With the 120, it's giving us a really strong shadow right there, but if we move it, here for example, it shows the shadow up top, but not necessarily right here. And you click OK on that, and remember that that was -101, and then come on to our frame one, and it looks like it also changed it there. So now as we zoom out, it looks like our photo is tucked under our frame. So that's one way that we can use frames in our layouts. Now I'm going to take both of these off and go back to my photo bin, and I'm going to pull my picture back. Whoops. Nope. Okay. Slide my picture up here, and then I'm going to slide this frame, this other frame, up here. Now this frame is a lot bigger, so I'm going to go back to Tool Options and Show Bounding Box. Make sure that it's constrained. Okay. Now I'm just going to bring this in. Okay, now I'm going to make the frame a little bit smaller than our photo so that I can show you the next part of this. So take off that bounding box, and let's pretend that for right now I want to keep just what you see inside the photo in the photo, but I want to have, but I don't want these extra edges over here. To do that, I'm going to highlight my background layer, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. So use your rectangle tool and make sure the shape is down here on rectangle. And I'm going to start in the corner, and I'm going to use my frame as the guide so that I'm within that frame that I'm drawing my shape. Then I'm going to simplify it, because notice here it's as a vector layer. So I've simplified it. Now if I were to hide the photo, you can see our shape that we just drew, and it's within, there's nothing pointing out. And we'll re-show our photo, and we're going to highlight the photo and then just Command G, and that will clip the photo to the frame, or to the mask that we made underneath the frame. Now we can highlight all three, the frame, the photo, and the clipping mask, and click our little chain to link it, so that when we scan back out, we can move this however we want around our page, and we can even add a shadow to the whole thing, and it's framed and it's all set to go, and use it on our layout however we see fit. So that's it. I hope these two techniques will give you some ideas and inspire some fun ways to use frames on your layout.